Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna stop talking about slamming the Dolphins and move on. So,
Mike Gesicki's not a tight end; he's a wide receiver.
less than half the teams added
I
new.
mean, he plays like one. That's fine.
Was not the
Is
guy.
that like, is that because of the cap, or do you think it's just a slower day? Do you think there'll be more action tomorrow?
I think the cap is a big part of it. I think that teams have to be a little more careful because there is a smaller salary cap. I think you're going to see guys that get cut because they would normally get deals and extensions with their teams, but teams have to make cuts somewhere and have to make concessions to try to get rosters down to under that lower cap number. So not to say it's only that because I could see the first day being kind of slow, period. But I think COVID's definitely a factor.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna go around and best signing. What I mean by that is the best fit for the best price. Cody, we'll start with you. I always start with you. I don't know why. I like your face, I guess. Go ahead.
Carl Lawson.
For the best price, best fit.
Yeah, and for the fact that Terrell Basham was the Jets' best pass rusher with 3.5 sacks last year.
All right. Austin, best price, best fit.
Corey Linsley.
Oh, for the Chargers. They paid him though. He got a lot of money. All right. What about you, Warren? Best player at the best
I'm gonna
price.
go Jonnu Smith. The receiving core / pass catchers in New England were absolutely atrocious, and we're one of the few teams that had worse pass catchers than the Dolphins did last year. So Jonnu Smith immediately becomes the best pass catcher on that roster before they did anything else.
All right. So now I'm gonna go opposite. Worst signing of the day, overpaid and not a scheme fit. We'll start with Warren this time. Go backwards.
Corey Linsley because they didn't go to the Dolphins. Hard to say. There weren't a ton of signing. Like there wasn't anything that really jumped out at me as like that's a terrible move. As much as I joke about Linsley, it's a lot of money. So if he earns that money and continues at that level, it'll be a great move for the Chargers. But if he doesn't earn that big payday, then and it's not even because of lack of skill. Like the dude's super talented, is the best center available, but only when you get that big of a price tag, you have bigger shoes to fill. So I'm going to say him just due to the volume of the contract, not the skill of the player.
I didn't give my best. I think the best is Shaq Barrett today, by the way.
Worst.
The Austin worst signing today.
So I think it's the worst signing, but I don't think he's the worst player. I'm gonna go Joe Thune.
You think that was too much? The 16 million?
Yeah, I don't understand why they signed a guard when they need 2 tackles.
Well, they need 2 guards too, because
they need 1 guard.
Yeah,
they need
both
8
their guards
too.
are coming back. I thought.
No, one of them's not coming back.
Yeah. It just and like he could not play tackle. Like he played tackle a little bit in Tom Brady's last year, and he got fucking manhandled.
Well, he's small for a tackle. That's why he plays guard. What about you, Cody? What do you think is the worst signing of the day?
Nelson Agholor.
You took my answer. I'm going to agree with you and say Nelson Agholor, so I don't have to go.
I forgot Agholor. Can I change my answer?
Like I like him, but I don't like him with New England. I would have liked to see him go back to the Raiders.
I mean, Jonnu Smith is still the best pass catcher on the roster.
You're just gonna talk shit about Julian Edelman to my face, Warren?
Yes.
Well, Edelman actually has to be on the field to be the best pass catcher. So
Edelman runs his mouth a lot for small white dudes.
I think
I'm just gonna say with how injured he is,
it's not even just Agholor. It's that price. Like they pay him wide receiver 1 money. I just don't think that price tag. If they would have just paid $8-9 million for him, my answer would be completely different. But at $13 million, I just don't think he's a wide receiver 1, and I
think scheme fit wise, I probably still would have had him regardless of what they paid for him.
But I think like they got a 2 in Aguilar, maybe a 3, a wide receiver 2, 3. They got a wide receiver 3 or 2 in Kendrick Bourne, and then their best receiver is a receiver 2 at best, maybe.
Well,
Welcome to the Patriots.
they're gonna
Their
do,
best receiver is their tight end, Jonnu Smith.
They
they're
got
gonna do what Bill Belichick does best and draft a wide receiver in the first round.
yeah, which is what he does not do best.
They find little white dudes who are on the practice squads of other teams, and they're like, "Yo, you want to win Super Bowls?"
We'll put you in the slack and get you murdered.
Yeah, but that was when Tom Brady was throwing the ball.
Yeah, that's why we have Scotty Miller now. He's our little white guy.
Yeah, but you know, Tom Brady was throwing balls that weren't quite fully inflated.
So I've never understood. Throwing a deflated ball is harder.
Not in cold, it's not, because you can grip it.
It's not
It
completely flat. It was just a little softer.
Yeah, it wasn't like completely, but yeah, it was a little underinflated, and it's
And it
because
was
he plays in
compared
cold.
to it was compared to Andrew Luck's ball, who asked for it to be 1 psi above regulation also. So like,
Well, yeah, Aaron Rodgers likes them really thick too, like really over pumped. But
The joke on the table.
what team today, not by division, overall, after today's signings improved the most?
probably the
Any team.
Jets.
All right, the Jets. What do you think, Cody?
Going back and forth between the Jets and the Titans. The Jets kind of address both sides of the ball, whereas the Titans only address the defense. I might have to lean Jets probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jets. Combination of they made a bunch of improvements to make that roster better, but they also have a really big margin of improvement because they were so
Right.
bad last year.
I'm gonna say the Jets also. I really like their moves. I told you guys coming
Well,
on.
that's no fun. I'm changing the Titans.
Okay, so what is the team that lost the most? That got not the worst, but like, what is the team that lost so much? I don't know. I'm trying to phrase it, but what team lost more than anybody else? Like that you think won't be as good as they were last year, maybe?
Ravens.
Who'd they lose? They just lost the 2 edge rushers, right?
Yeah.
I don't see how you can pick anybody but the Steelers. Like the Steelers lost their corners, they lost one of their pass rushers. They lost 3 of their starting offensive linemen. They lost their wide receiver 1. They lost their starting running back. I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers because combination of who they've already lost today plus who they are going to lose because they can't resign.
I'm not gonna go Steelers or Saints just because we knew they weren't gonna be able to keep anybody for the most
Yeah,
part.
but the Saints are staying competitive. I mean,
Yeah, the Saints actually surprised me. Like they restructured Michael Thomas. Like they made a couple of cuts, but
they didn't cut Lattimore. They didn't cut Cameron Jordan.
The only real one that we all kind of saw coming was Breeze, but even like Michael Thomas, we thought was gone, and he's still there. So,
well, yeah, they restructured him, so he's gonna be there for the trade rumors are out the window now.
Yeah, they're not gonna trade him now.
Just like Khalil Mack.
Yep. And Jenkins they cut, but
they cut Emmanuel Sanders. They cut.
Yeah, but
they were
Emmanuel
always
Sanders didn't do much. Janoris Jenkins is a penalty waiting to happen.
Well, Emmanuel Sanders wasn't going to do much. He was signed to be a number 2 when Mike Thomas got locked down. And Michael Thomas is like, I don't want to play football anymore.
Well, he didn't say he didn't want to play football anymore.
Clean it up, really.
All right, so I wanted to do this. Probably going to take up a while. The best remaining free agents, kind of overall, and then maybe like a few positional. So, who do you think the best like 5 free agents are left overall?
Chris Carson's probably on that list, even though I don't think he should be because he's too injury prone. But in terms of skill wise, Chris Carson's probably up there.
Okay. You said Trent Williams. I like that. I put Trent Williams up there. I put like Kenny Galladay maybe.
Yeah, Galladay.
I'd put Galladay in there in the top 5 because
People
I
think
thought
that
he
he was.
was the best receiver coming out.
What about there's no real
Juju,
big
maybe?
like that.
I don't like
Maybe.
Juju, but in terms of
See, I don't.
Let's try by position. It might be easier. So give me the top 3 quarterbacks available. We'll just do 3. That are like free agents, not like trade rumors.
I don't know.
Andy
The other one I really
Dalton.
knew was Fitzpatrick, and he signed.
Mitchell
Oh, wait,
Trubisky.
Alex Smith.
Yeah, there's Andy
Alex
Dalton.
Smith.
There is Mitchell Trubisky.
Alex Smith.
Yeah, Alex Smith. That's one. I don't even know that many quarterbacks are available without trades, so I don't really know.
Mitch Trubisky, Alex Smith, and Andy Dalton are probably the top 3. I mean, you got Jacoby Brissett out there. You got Tyrod Taylor out there, AJ McCarron, Colt McCoy, RG3, Matt
Give me
Barkley.
your best fit for Andy Dalton. I'm just gonna pick one at random.
Houston.
What about Chicago? I hear he's rumored to be going to Chicago, so hope that's fit.
I think that's terrible because their line sucks, and we've seen what he did with a shitty line this year.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, but maybe we'll do one more. So give me Warren. Give me the best spot for Alex Smith.
I'm actually hearing rumors he wants to go back to San Fran and finish his career out there, which would be an interesting turn. But I think he could have a little bit of success there with some of the weapons they have there.
Austin, give me a fit for Mr. Trubisky.
Do I have to?
You don't have to. I'm asking you to. If you don't have to, you can say no.
San Francisco.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. Let's go Tampa Bay.
There you go. It's an upgrade over Gabbert, and he can take the reins over from Brady when he.
Yeah, if Jason Light's willing to put Blaine Gabbert in
I really
charge
didn't
of
think
our
you were going to
team,
go along with me on that one.
I
All
don't
right,
think he should have a team, but he will because
When Brady
he's young.
breaks a hip, you need a backup.
top 3 receivers right now.
Galladay.
Galladay's one.
Holiday, Juju.
Maybe Juju. Okay. What about Will Fuller?
Yeah, maybe he might be the next best available.
I have to look. Hold on.
I think he's better than AB.
AB's a free agent.
AB is a free agent, but
AB's not going to get signed anywhere.
We know he's going to resign, but technically he is a free agent.
It's like Gronk. Like no one was talking about.
Yeah,
Gronk.
like there was no way he was gonna
Gronk's
play
going to
when
go
he
to the
went Brady.
Jags. Like
Kenny Galladay, Will Fuller, and Keelan Cole. Go with the Jags wide receiver.
I'm gonna go with Kenny
good job, Cody. You found a
Galladay,
guy we didn't know.
Will Fuller. What about Curtis Samuel? Everybody's forgetting about Curtis Samuel.
Oh yeah, Curtis Samuel.
Over
Samuel,
Juju. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go Fuller, Samuel, and
Galladay.
Galladay. Yeah.
Isn't Marvin Jones a free agent too?
Yeah.
But I think he's
So-
on a downward trend.
If we go 5, we would go Juju, and then we go somebody else. Who do you say? Oh, you said the dude from. I don't know. You said the dude from Washington, right?
Jacksonville, Keelan Cole.
Jacksonville. Keelan Cole. Okay. So we'll do 5 then.
I'd put Brashard Perryman over freaking Juju. I can't.
So we'll start with Austin this time. Give me a fit for Kenny Galladay.
Tampa Bay.
Not Tampa Bay. That's not a fit.
The Cowboys.
That's not a fit either.
I think the
I got a fit
Dolphins.
for him.
The
Actually,
Dolphins
Dolphins.
definitely need a number 1. But just because Warren's my friend, I'm going to say he goes to the 49ers.
The 49ers would be actually a good fit.
I know.
All right. Cody, what about Will Fuller?
I don't know at this point because there's a lot of teams that need him.
He's getting suspended 2 games too, though. Well, he's
Yeah,
got 2 games left.
that's the tough part about placing him. You could probably get him for cheaper because of that. So with Miami needing a receiver, I'm gonna say the Jets.
Jets, all right. Warren, Curtis Samuel.
I like how he's thinking about it. Like he's not just gonna say Miami.
No. I can actually see Samuel going to the Jets.
Miami, yeah, because he's not a receiver one. He's a gadget player, and I think he could replace two players in Buffalo. So I thought Buffalo because he could replace. We wouldn't have to re-sign Isaiah McKenzie and we cut John Brown, and he could play both those roles. Because
Yeah, I can
we
see
lined up.
Buffalo.
We lined up Isaiah McKenzie in the backfield and dude run plays with him, and Curtis Samuel does that kind of stuff too.
We'll trade you Isaiah Ford for Stephon Diggs.
And then Juju, Cody, give me a spot.
Cincinnati. No. I'm trying to think of a spot that has number one. He could be an actual true number two. So that obviously puts Miami out.
I think Green Bay would be a good fit for him. And I've heard
I don't know if him and Rodgers would get along though.
Aaron Rodgers could become TikTok famous.
I could actually see Baltimore. They kind of have that. We'll take these kind of like.
Ooh, Tennessee.
Oh, that was a fit. Yeah, opposite to AJ Brown. That's right. We already talked about them.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
And according to this list, wide receiver 5 is
Keelan Cole.
Is hold on, I'm going by this list I found. I gotta find the next receiver on this list. T.Y. Hilton. What about a spot for T.Y. Austin? Not retirement.
I think he'll just end up going back to the Colts. I think they'll match it because.
I think because he said he's going to let them match it that he's going back. I actually absolutely agree with that. All right.
If the Colts decide to match it, the Colts don't like to spend money. So
what about give me top 5 running backs available?
Chris Carson.
Just throw them out there.
Jamal Williams.
James Conner.
Jamal Williams. All right, hold on. Let me write these down because they're not on the list. Okay, so we said Carson. Who else?
Williams.
Okay.
Kenyon Drake.
Leonard Fournette.
Back early.
Williams.
Leonard Fournette has to be the best back left, right?
Hold on, Fournette.
I don't think so. He got hot for like 2 or 3 games.
Drake. What was the fifth one?
But he was also like one of the best running backs when he was in.
Chad Leonard, Fournette, Gurley.
Oh, Gurley.
Up into an AFC championship.
Well, Gurley or Fournette.
Oh, I got Fournette. I got Carson, Williams, Fournette, Drake. What else did you guys say?
Jimmy Conner.
Oh, Connor. Okay.
Do you mean James Conner?
James Conner. We're not gonna do Gurley because he's got arthritis, and I don't know about him.
Yeah, I don't think Gurley plays again next season.
Warren.
I still think he's better than Connor.
Warren, give me a fit for Chris Carson.
Man.
Oh gosh, we actually talked about this in one of our other videos too. Carson, I could see. I'm trying to think of teams that need a running back. I
Say the Dolphins because you guys need him.
No, I actually don't see him in Miami. He's too injured. Trying to think of somebody that's going to need a back. Honestly, no, because Pittsburgh can't afford him. Maybe Baltimore. They got to replace Mark Ingram.
Possibly, but I don't think they want to. I think they'd bring back Gus Edwards before Carson. But I asked you for the fit, not me. Jamal Williams, Austin.
Seahawks.
I could see that. What about Fournette, Cody?
Miami.
All right.
He'll fight the Bills every time they play.
What about?
Well, that's where he can run into his offensive lineman and then break one off.
I'm gonna two for you. What about Kenyon Drake, Cody?
I'm back to San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Back to Miami.
And Austin, James Conner.
Back up to the Giants, actually.
Back to the Giants, you said?
For Saquon Barkley.
Okay. All right. And now, what positions are left? Tight end. 5 tight ends that are available.
I can give you Hunter Henry. That's all I got.
I've got Hunter Henry here.
Gronkowski signed. Johnny Smith signed.
So there's Henry. There is
Delaney Walker wanted to come back, didn't he?
Yes, Walker. There is Cook, Jared Cook.
Oh, I forgot Jared Cook.
Kyle Rudolph, or did he sign?
No, he didn't. Rudolph
Oh, I take that back. There's more guys out there than I thought.
and
Jesse James.
Jesse James, but I don't know. I'm just making sure there's nobody else above him on this list before I put him because he's not that good. He's not bad. I shouldn't say he's bad. What about Dan Arnold from the old Cardinals tight end?
He's
like
my
him better?
favorite tight end.
Do you like him better than Jesse James or worse?
I like him as a pass catcher better, but Jesse James has one of the best names in football.
All right, we'll do Jesse James.
Is he preparing for trouble?
All right, so I know that my team needs a tight end, and they are rumored to be pursuing one. I don't know who because they didn't say who. But what about Gerald Everett? You don't like Gerald Everett more than Jesse James?
Jesse James.
I just like Jesse James' name.
We're gonna put him.
He's not even that good. We're gonna put Everett.
I tried to name every one of my sons Jesse James, but my wife said no.
All right, so we're just gonna go with Everett instead. All right, I'm gonna start with you, Warren. Give me a fit for Hunter Henry.
If they've got the salary cap, I could see Buffalo. They need a tight end. He's a good pass catcher. He would definitely help take a little heat off of Stephon Diggs with John Brown gone. You know, you still got Beasley, but Beasley had some injury concerns towards the end of the season, so that gives you a big pass catcher too.
Fair enough. I love the fit, so I want him. So, anyways, Delaney Walker, Austin.
It was right on the tip of my tongue. The Titans? Who was he?
Back to the Titans. He played.
Yeah. I think
Well, it makes sense. They just lost Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, yeah, I have the right. That's Team Derrick Henry zone. I don't know what just happened to me for a second.
The Titans. You got it.
I just looked up and I was like, "What is football?"
Jared Cook, Cody.
Let's see. I don't know. He's a tough one to place. Just because he's almost 35 years old. He might be someone that would go to like Cincinnati and be Joe Burrow's security blanket for a year or two.
What about the team like the Rams, who might be losing Gerald Everett, who just traded for Stafford or trying to make a run?
They have Tyler Higbee.
I can't put anybody with the Rams yet because they've done nothing to get under the salary cap. I don't know what they're doing.
What about Rudolph? Okay. Austin.
I've heard rumors that he's connected to the Pats still. So you put him, Jonnu Smith together, but run two tight end sets.
That would be scary. That would be like Hernandez Gronk again. What about
hopefully with less murder?
Gerald Everett. Warren.
I'm gonna say the Giants only because here I know they have a Pro Bowl tight end, but after doing the Giants recap, there's a lot of Giants fans that aren't happy with the way Ingram can't catch balls sometimes. There's a lot of drops.
A lot of easy passes.
There's definitely a segment of Giants Nation that would like to move on from him. So Everett would be a capable replacement in the interim.
I think that'd be a terrible.
As a bonus. Cody, where does Zach Ertz get traded to?
Indianapolis would make the most sense.
To go back to Carson? Back with Carson?
It gives Carson Wentz someone he knows and a shoulder to cry on. Possibly both.
Coach is yelling at me.
I'm going to skip offensive line because I don't know too much about them. I know there's a bunch available still, but I don't know any of them. Let's go defense. What about edge rushers? I mean, a lot went today. Who do you think are the best 5 left available?
Melvin Ingram.
Isn't Taco a free agent?
Taco.
Taco Charlton.
Yes, he's a free agent.
I'm
Back
You
gonna
think,
when
build
you
the
think that
best
highly of Taco?
fantasy team.
I just like his name.
Taco is-
Jadeveon Clowney, maybe?
I think he hurt his stack last year.
I still think he's one of the top 5 available. I know he hurt his stock. I agree with you, but
Solomon Thomas.
I'm just going off this list. Hold on.
Ask us and then go off the list.
Well, no. I'm going with what you said. You said Solomon Thomas, which I like Solomon Thomas. Just seeing who's on this list. What about Son Reddick?
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. But
All right. And then let's see who else is on this list. Carlos Dunlap. What about Carlos Dunlap?
I thought I said that, but I may have thought it and not actually said it.
Let me see who else is on this list. That might be better than Thomas or Clowney, if you guys think so. I don't see anybody though. He's gone. He got signed.
Adrian Claiborne.
Anthony Nelson.
Look at Anthony Nelson. We can do defensive tackles separately if you want. There's a bunch of those available, like a bunch. Yeah. So
I think it's
what
gonna
about
be hard to play some of these guys just
what
because
about
there's a
Alden
lot.
Smith?
Alden Smith staying in Dallas.
All right. I'll just give you that one and not put him on the list. Austin, give me a place from Melvin Ingram. One fit.
Not Mark.
Not Mark, Melvin.
Mama. Oh, no, man.
No man.
The Saints.
The Saints. All right. Jadeveon Clowney, Warren.
I think he's gonna want to try to go to a team that's a contender. He's clearly very selective after last year when he was very selective, we'll say.
He was super selective last year, so
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm gonna go with
Miami.
no. He already refused to go to Miami last year. He ain't gonna come now.
yes, he did
Um,
refuse to go to there last year. It's the fact. Miami wanted him pretty badly too.
I don't know if the fit would be there because of the culture piece, but if he wants to go to a contender that needs a little bit of outside pressure, I would say the Bills. But I don't know if it's a culture fit.
I don't know. The Bills are all about culture, so
That's what I mean. I don't know if the culture fit's there, but the
if he
need
respects
for
the process, that's
but
the
the
big
edge
thing.
rusher part is there.
Yes, that's what we need, and we need to get better against the run because we were awful against the run last year. But Buffalo preaches culture and respecting the process. So, Solomon Thomas, you brought him up, Cody. Tell me where you think he can go.
Well, Tennessee.
All right, Son Reddick, Cody again. Give you some twofers.
Considering them in San Francisco is close, and I actually like that fit, I'd see San Francisco. But with Salah being in New York, I kind of see him going to the Jets too.
Okay, that'd be big for the Jets. They got that. That'd be scary edge rushers. Carlos Dunlap. Austin.
The Browns.
Awesome. So I don't know too many corners left or safeties. I know there are there, like Casey Hayward and Shaquille Griffin. But I don't know. The market for corners is moving slower than I anticipated. So there's a ton of them available. Too many to count. We'll just name some and give me quick fits. We have like 9 minutes left. So Let's see. If I can find one on this goddamn list. Shaquille Griffin. Cleveland's interested. You think he signs there?
Maybe. I mean, the need's there.
William Jackson. The Bengals ex.
I think he resigns. Bengals need him bad.
Okay. I think he resigns. What about let's see. Ferret already resigned. Darby signed. Mike Hilton. Do you think he goes to the Bengals? They're close, I hear, but do you think he goes there?
I think so. I think that they're definitely making moves in the right direction, and they need cornerback help badly. So they're not going to be afraid to be like, dude, listen, we need you.
All right. What about I know this is disorganized. We didn't do linebackers, but whatever. We'll do it next time if there's any available. What about Malcolm Butler? This is interesting because he's not really a corner one. He tries to play corner one, but he's more of a corner two.
I don't think he ends up anywhere.
No?
No.
Two more aging corners. What about Richard Sherman?
Jets.
That's a fit. I think I like the Jets for him. What about Xavier Rhodes?
Resigns.
Stays with Indy. What about Janoris Jenkins?
The human penalty.
Yeah. Too many penalties.
Hard to say because a lot of there are some teams with cornerback needs that I don't know if he would fit in terms of just because that undisciplined play.
Right.
You know, teams like Buffalo, Miami with their culture shit, they don't want those guys that are undisciplined and going to make mistakes. So,
Right.
and like Buffalo, if they lose Josh Norman, they could use him, but I don't see him fitting in there.
What about?
Didn't he come from the Giants?
Yes, before, yeah.
Maybe he goes back to the Giants. I don't know. I don't know. Joe Judge is going to put up with that either,
There's
though.
no real linebackers available anymore that are in the tops. What about David Andrews? You think he re-signs with the Patriots?
Probably. I've heard they're close. But
going down this list, a lot of people are already gone. So, oh, here's interesting. What about Jacoby Brissett?
I would like to see him in the 49ers offense.
That's a fit.
Personally.
What about Patrick Peterson? He said he's willing to move to safety.
That's Dallas' center fielder.
Dallas. All right. What about Ndamukong Suh? Do you think he resigns now that Shaq Barrett resigned?
With Tampa.
What's that?
He resigns with Tampa. He said he'd take a pay cut. Bruce Arians said they're keeping him around, and Bruce Arians has kept everyone else around.
What about Kyle Van Noy?
Pats.
Tampa.
To the Pats.
The only reason he didn't stay with the Pats is because he priced himself out of the market.
This is interesting to me. What about Cordero Patterson? People are saying because we let Roberts walk, we might take a flyer on him in Buffalo. But what do you think about him? Anybody need a good returner?
Hard to say.
He can do things. He's just not great at anything anymore, but he's good for a kickoff return touchdown a year.
What about defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins from New Orleans?
Dallas.
What about Larry Ogunjobi?
That's my guy. I think he stays in Cleveland, though.
We talked about him. What about Keanu O'Neal, safety?
He played for the Falcons, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
The Raiders like taking old Falcons.
He said Alden Smith stays. I gave it to you. What about a guy like Tyrod? Where do you see a fit?
I could almost see, so if the Jets go with Darnold, I could almost see a Tyrod signing there as like a let's push Darnold and let's try to make a little controversy and push him, but not really bring in a guy that's like really going to take the job from him or like would be a capable backup in case, because Darnold says some freak weird things like the what was it, mono, like he said a couple of weird things, like I could see it there. But if they draft a young QB in trade, maybe you bring in, but even then you're probably looking for more of a veteran guy like an Alex Smith. So
Right.
Tyrod Taylor's like last 27 stops have included he's going to start this year and the rookie's going to take over the next year and a freak injury happens or a doctor punctures his lung with the needle and the rookie takes over.
yeah.
So I do think he probably goes somewhere where they're drafting a rookie. It's just which one of the 27 teams that are looking at quarterback does he go?
Right.
And he has a no doctor clause, so doctors can't touch his lungs with needles.
A 3-minute speed round with some of these guys. Just give me a name of a team. Marlon Mack.
Rams.
Hold on. Quentin Dunbar. Next is Casey Hayward, so they're both corners. So
Casey Hayward, Dallas, but Dallas doesn't pay corners. So
what about this? Guy's interesting because he's just character. So what about Tack McKinley? You think he's going to get a flyer?
How many does he need? Someone's going to give him a chance, I'm sure, because the potential's there. He's just really lazy, and I don't know if.
What about James White?
I mentioned him with San Francisco, I think.
Tennessee.
Austin mentioned him for Tennessee, yeah. What about Brashad Perriman? You mentioned him earlier.
Raiders. They're gonna need the speed guy to make up for Aguilar being gone.
What about Chidobe?
Buffalo.
About Everson Griffin.
I don't know if he gets another shot.
Oh, and what about Mike Davis, the running back? Do you think he goes back
to the Panthers? Probably.
This is interesting because he's coming off a torn Achilles. What about Malik Hooker? He was so highly touted coming out.
So even at Ohio State, he was injured. That was his biggest knock coming out, but that's the kind of bargain bin shopping that Dallas likes to do. So I could see that actually as a possibility.
Troy Hill's getting up there. He's 30. Trying to give us one more, two more. What about Villanueva, the former Steelers tackle?
Chiefs.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. He was really good for Pittsburgh too. It's pretty much all the big names. We mentioned. What about Jaquiski Tart, the former 49ers safety?
I think he might end up back there.
In 49ers, all right. AB, is he going back to Tampa?
Austin?
Yeah. Yes.
Pittsburgh, obviously.
What about, last thing. What about Sammy Watkins, huh?
Back to Buffalo.
The Chargers need a speed guy, don't they?
They have Mike Williams.
They have the route runner. They have the go up and get